So in today's video, I want to cover a few different topics, most notably, why is Black Myth Wukong not on Xbox consoles? I also want to touch a little bit on Microsoft's parity clause that's in place that it seems that a lot of people are not either aware of or they don't know what the scope of it is. And also, it's been confirmed that Black Wukong, in fact, has an incoming expansion coming up. So I'm going to have timestamps in this video for you to jump around and get to the part that you want. But let me just start by saying the main reason why Black Myth Wukong is not on Xbox is not, it has nothing to do with the Xbox Series S, which has been floating around. You know, there's so many videos and topics of people saying that the Xbox Series S is holding back the X. Well, I'm here to say that's not the case here. What ended up happening is Sony being Sony, they decided to create some sort of I guess a timed exclusivity deal with the developer of Black Myth Wukong, Game Science. So, for instance, this article here is from Forbes, right? So initially, this one has, they're claiming that the game is reportedly suffering from a bug known as memory leak, which can cause significant crashes that could compromise the performance of your Xbox console. Due to this issue, the game has not passed Xbox's bug detection test and has therefore been indefinitely delayed until they manage to optimize the game for the Series S and X, or X and S. Now that was the original story. So, you know, it says, you know, the studio is already working hard to resolve this issue and achieve the necessary certification. Once they get approval, they plan to set a release date for the game, but they don't know yet when or how. But other than that error, the game is close to being ready. Okay. So we're led to believe that, again, the Series S is the reason. Let's check this out now. So now in this one, this article from Microsoft or MSN here, says we're currently optimizing, blah, blah, blah. That's what they said in June. Okay, so it won't release, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Now, following that, a Microsoft spokesperson suggested the existence of a secret exclusivity deal. We can't comment on the deals made by our partners with other platform holders, PlayStation, but we remain focused on making Xbox the best platform for gamers, and great games are at the center of that, said Microsoft. So this is, to me, this is not a good look. This is not a good look at all to me. It really is not. Because you can see here, this was the original one, right here, right? This is the one I read earlier. And then we have this from the Microsoft spokesperson who said this. So, I just find it interesting that so many people jump in the direction of the Series S is to blame. The Series S is holding back the X. Clearly, as I have just shown, that is not the case. So we don't know how long this deal is. We don't even know if the game is even, in fact, coming to Microsoft. I would like to believe so, given the success of the game. It's been breaking records. It's arguably a Game of the Year contender. So I just find it very sad, you know, for people who's looking forward to playing the game, myself included, that we still have to deal with these shady backroom deals that Sony continues to put out. So That's the main reason why Black Myth Wukong is not on Xbox currently. It is what it is. I don't like it. If you are a fellow Xbox user, I'm sure you don't like it. And I would love to hear your comments about this very topic, because this is ridiculous. But this is based on what we know now. This is the main reason. So now, in other news, a bit of good news, I would say. So, Black Myth Wukong, the developer's Game Science, has confirmed an expansion to the game. I'll admit that it is quite early for such an announcement, but it doesn't surprise me. The game is a huge success. It's breaking all sorts of records. So yeah. So in this article on Forbes, we can see here. So yeah, Black Myth Wukong expansion confirmed as it becomes one of the fastest selling games ever. Okay, we got all this fluff here. Black Myth Wukong flew up the Steam charts, quickly becoming the service's second most played game in history with 2.2 million concurrent players. That's insane. Now new players are similarly eye-popping. Now new numbers are similarly eye-popping. A new report from Bloomberg digs into some new data, including the fact that Black Myth Wukong has sold 18 million copies since its launch just over 2 weeks ago, which according to analyst Daniel Ahmad makes it one of the fastest selling games in history, behind only the likes of mega hits Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, and Grand Theft Auto 5. So, okay, that's pretty cool. Game Science says, if you want to hear the truth, Game Science success today is built upon its 4 failures in a row. The Daniel Wu Hero Game founder, who worked with Game Science co-founder Feng Ji to get Black Myth Wukong made. Wukong proves not only that we have top-notch game-making capabilities, but also we can tell a good story with Chinese elements. I 100% agree. So it has been confirmed that Black Myth Wukong will get an expansion, which will be an entirely new round of earning. This would set it apart from Grand Theft Auto 5, which did not release any story expansions in favor of GTA Online, though of course that printed money for over a decade afterward. There are no clues as to what the expansion will cover as of yet, nor its scope or price compared to that of the main game. $30 to $40 is probably a safe estimate in the current market. So it doesn't surprise me that they're going to have an expansion. In fact, they're more than likely going to have a few expansions. I would venture to also say that I believe that this game will turn into a franchise. I feel it has all of the elements. It already has a very strong community backing. The game looks amazing. And I feel that there are many different stories that they can tell in that world, in that universe. So I myself am looking forward to that. Now I want to cover what exactly is this Xbox parity clause. So I know a lot of people aren't. Some people haven't even heard of it. So a lot of people claim that this is an issue. I can understand, right? So the main culprit was Baldur's Gate 3. It was released on PlayStation and then subsequently was released later on the Xbox Series S and X. So in essence, the reason we're not getting Baldur's Gate 3 and Xbox Series X and S at the same time, oh yeah, they had a typo here, as PlayStation, is due to Microsoft's feature parity clause between the two consoles. The Xbox Series X is the more powerful, more expensive of the two consoles and can handle almost anything current gen games throw at it. The Series S is another story though. Okay, so this is the stuff that we already know. Generally speaking, games on the Xbox Series S run at a lower resolution or lower frame rate, sometimes both, to accommodate its specs. Many games tend to match the Xbox Series X for frame rate, usually taking a hit to resolution instead. So now, here's the main bit. Where things get murky is Microsoft's feature parity clause. This stipulation suggests that games released on both the Xbox Series X and S need to have the same feature set and can only diverge on performance-related things like frame rates or resolution. And this is causing issues for certain features which do require performance overhead. So there you have it. Anytime you hear of a situation of a game where it's not being released on the Xbox Series X and people want to blame the Series S for it, you have to take a deeper look. The parity clause has nothing to do with the performance of the game because Microsoft is well aware what the Series S can and cannot do. So for instance, if your game has a split screen feature, that game developer has to make sure that same feature is in the Xbox Series X version of the game as well as the Series S version of the game. Now, to be perfectly honest, things like split screen, I'm gonna be honest, that's usually from my era. You know, I'm 45 years old. I came up playing games where we played split screen. In this day and age, split screen is not a need at this point. It's more of a want. I understand there's some people out there that find it appealing and they like it, and that's cool. Kudos to you. But it's not really a game-breaking thing in my opinion. Right? It can be looked at as a legacy thing, especially if you're like, for instance, I've heard people who love Halo and they've missed, you know, the split screen feature. They can do the campaign together. I've heard of those stories, believe me. But in this current day and age where you have internet is so good, you know, you can play with your friend online. But either way, that's my thoughts. Let me know what your thoughts are. Hopefully this video, you know, provided some bit of value, and still getting, you know, trying to be a good YouTuber here. But yeah, definitely leave me some comments. Help the channel grow. And if this video related to you, please feel free to subscribe and stay tuned for more content. Peace.